身 Talk to ya, I'm here to talk to ya about toys. What's up everybody, it's your boy 2KROs aka True Crew Reviews here with another action figure toy review. This time of the S.H.Figuarts Shinkocchou Seihou Kamen Rider OOO's TaToBa combo. Now a little backstory for you guys, Kamen Rider OOO is my all-time favorite series. When we created Toku Nation back in the day, I had to have that username, and now it's kind of become synonymous with who I am in the Toku Nation and the Toku community. Now, when I first started collecting S.H.Figuarts, my very first one was the S.H.Figuarts TaToBa combo. My aunt got that for me for Christmas back in that year when it first released. And, you know, I was blown away. That got me back into action figure collecting. So when this got announced, I was super excited. I went on every website. I made sure that, like, when it went up for order, I would be set. And then it sold out when it was in my cart. So I was devastated. I was, like, hating what happened. But then, luckily enough, another great OOO's fan, another great friend of mine, Michael, Pokemon Master, he happened to help hook me up with one of these. So, again, shout out, thanks to you, man. You are awesome. And yeah, man, I got it in this week. I've been blown away by it, especially in comparison with the original. I mean, the original, of course, will have always a place in my heart, but this just blows it out of the water. So later on in the video, you will see a comparison between the two, but for now, we'll get into the accessories, the paint job and the articulation, and then a comparison with the original and other figures from the Shinkocchou Seihou line. Now let's get into it, guys. And as usual, per the Shinkocchou Seihou line of figures, it comes with a plethora of accessories and hands. So let's take a look first at the weapon. The Meta Jalaber with an actual moving lever. Oh, the original did not have that. Now you can see there is a little spot for cell metals to pop out of, but unfortunately there is no actual way to put them in. But there is this alternate piece on the back that you can swap out with another piece right here with all the cell metals, the Taka cell metal, the Tora cell metal, and the Bata cell metal, so you can see the details there. You're probably wondering why I don't have the core metals here right on frame. Well, that's because they originally came on this little tiny sprue, so I did not want to lose them. I've heard horror stories about wizard rings and stuff like that, but as you can see the details. They're pretty much the same molding on there on these cell metals. So you just pop the piece right here on the back of the Meta Jalaber, and then you can see them right there on the front. Now, the OOO scanner, a lot bigger than the original's OOO scanner. Of course, it's got the nice gold paint. It doesn't have the little like line dots or anything, but those are supposed to line up when you have the scanner in hand, as you saw with my Quick Selection modification. But here are the Tora claws, and you can see they actually fold out so you can put the hands on them. They have little ball joints right there. Oh, these are, oh, hold on. These are, here's the right side and the left side, and of course you can just pop those on. I'll show you guys later in a little bit. But for the hands, there are so many hands. You have these Meta Jalaber holding hands right here. You have the fisted hands that come on the figure, the OOO scanner holding hand. Let's see, because this is the only hand that actually can hold it properly. And right there, like that. Then you have these splayed open hands for when you have the Tora claws or for like action poses. You have these, let's see, oh, these are more of like the relaxed open hands, I think, or for the, you know, adjusting the OOO's driver, you know, when you slide it up and down. And then you have finally these metal holding hands right here at the end. So you've got that for future, you know, combos. You can utilize those hands for those. But here, let's take a look at the figure. I'll show you right now. Well, there is the core metals right there in the belt. Of course, nicely painted. But here is how we swap out the Tora claws. You just pull it out like so, pop them off, and then you just pop on the Tora claws right there. Luckily, it's very sturdy kind of a joint, so you don't have to fear about breaking. Now, the Gata Kiriba combo showed us that you can take off the legs, but I'm a little cautious right now because eventually that piece will have, or those legs will have the alternate pieces. But let's pop this back on right here, and let's get into the paint job and articulation segment. And here is the S.H.Figuarts OOO's TaToBa combo in all of its glory, with the nice bright metallic red on the head and with the green eyes and the line work, and the red continues onto the back, of course. And then you have here the Tora segment with the claws. The claws are actually a nice brighter gold, or a nice more like richer gold than the bronze gold that the original combo came with. It continues all the way around here. And you may have noticed I do have a paint defect on mine, unfortunately. Right here on the bottom segment of the combo chest, there's a little bit of gold on there, but I don't really care. It just looks so good. And then on the bottom legs, you have this nice, more forest kind of green, or more deeper green than the sea green that was on the original combo. But yeah, and then you have over here on this side the O scanner's holster, fits right there, and of course the metal holder. And here on the belt, I forgot to point out this in the accessories, there is this little tool that allows you to slide the core metals in and out. It is a bit difficult to get them in, so that's why that thing is there. But now let's get into one of the features, one of the main reasons why this thing, is so amazing. Eventually you'll be able to do combo changes with this, so you can just pop the head segment off like that. See, it just pulls out like that. So you can eventually put down like the Gatakiri, the Kuwagata head from Gatakiriba on there, or future combos. Now I haven't figured out how to properly pull out the legs, but here on the torso you can pull off the emblem, and right here the Bata emblem is on another separate piece. It's just like kind of on a hinge, so you just pop it out like so, and there you go. And so it's all in segments, so you can just put it onto the next combo. And I'm making this more difficult on myself, trying to put it back on, but here, let's pop it back on like so, and like that. But man, I'm so blown away by this thing. Let's just take a quick second to admire this. I mean, this looks so good. It actually looks like an actor in the suit. That's what makes this so amazing. Now, when we get into the articulation segment, I'm going to show you a couple other things that really are awesome about this thing. But let's get into the articulation right now. So let's adjust those a bit. But for the head, of course, per standard Tamashii Nation's S.H.Figuarts, it has a wide range of motion. Click all the way around. But if you want it to, the line to line up with the head, you're going to have to be a little bit more careful, because it doesn't really line up all the way. But you probably don't want to overdo it. But for the arms, the shoulders move out that far. The shoulder pads are on the hinge right there. You can rotate the arm all the way around. There is an upper arm. God, let's fix that. There's an upper arm cut right there for rotation. And of course, he has the double jointed elbows. But what's awesome is that the elbows also have this little extra hinge for a wider range of motion. That thing is so cool. And the hands are on ball joints, so they move up and down like that. He can go a wide range of motion with diaphragm, but he can't crunch that far, because look, see the Bata piece fall off. So when doing an ab crunch, you have to be very careful with this guy. But he can crunch that far back, forward, and that far back. He has, of course, waist rotation, and then he can kick up that far. He can kick that far back. He has the upper thigh cut, so he can rotate around that much. His knees, the knees. Look at this. The line continues all the way through the knee. The original combo had the knee pads as part of the knees, so you would notice it right away when that piece is off, but it stays on there. But it looks so good. Of course, also, he can kick almost heel to butt. He has that much of a kick. And his knees also have that little extra swivel on there too. Man, this thing is so good. But yeah, when we go onto here for the ankles, his little ankle guard actually moves up and down. It's not a fixed point like the original. So he has ankle pivot. He can move that much. He has that much range. He can kick up and down. But yeah, oh wow, this thing is just so majestic. Guys, I am blown away by this. So let's get into comparing him with other figures from the S.H.Figuarts line. And here he is holding the Meta Jalabert. I had to get that in the pose, but here he is with the original S.H.Figuarts TaToBa combo. I could not find the folded up Toro claws on mine, but man, look at these guys in comparison to each other. Obviously, the O's was like, oh man, this is so innovative for the time, because he had the upper arm, swivel, so he had more range of motion than others. But as you can see, the Shinkocchou Seihou looks like somebody in a suit. The TaToBa combo on the original looks like something that an amateur cosplayer like me would make. But now I noticed this on mine. Well, mine was kind of glued, but it kind of loosened up over time. That when you take off the chest emblem, that the chest emblem is in segments. So I feel like originally they had in mind to do combo changes, but then because he was originally glued on, but you could just pop it off like that because of how loose mine is. But see, the Taka segment is on a separate segment, and then here on the Basa segment, it's also separate. So I feel like you could just pop off. You can pop off just the neck joint and the torso joint in order to make your own combo changes. But yeah, I feel like they had it in mind before, but then they changed their mind about it. But yeah, either way, you can see it's a night and day thing. But here he is with Shinkocchou Seihou Decade. Let me fix his shoulder real quick. Yeah, and oh man, look at these two together. They look so good. So good. Alright, let's take out the old TaToBa combo and put him next to double. Man, look at these guys. They look so good. Yeah. And here he is with Shinkocchou Seihou Wizard. Look at these guys all together. They look so amazing. Now, this next figure, I feel like they need to make a Shinkocchou Seihou of this guy. I mean, I like him for how he is designed right now, but I really feel like this guy deserves one S.H.Figuarts Forze. So we have here the last of the original half of the Heisei area with the four first series of the second half of the Heisei era, the Neo Heisei era, if you want to call it that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Decade. Here we go. But yeah, you can see all these together. They look so good. I mean, Forze, of course, is a little smaller. He's not as proportionate as the others. But I feel like, if you look at this guy, he still kind of holds up pretty well. I feel like if they do a Shinkocchou Seihou version of this, they'll have to, work on, the switches, the Astro switches. But, yeah, because you can see you can just pop up this piece. It's not too bad, but, there's a lot of little pieces you can lose here and there. But if they just have, like, a small piece that, well, either way, he still kind of holds up, and I hope if they do, he's compatible with the original modules. But with these guys, oh, look at these all together like that. They look so good together, like actual. If you didn't look at the joints, you could say that, oh, look at all these like awesome suits all right next to each other. But yeah, man, I'm just so happy to have this thing. O's, of course, has been like one of my like all-time favorite series, and then seeing all these remake figures, I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting, and then we finally have this guy. Like, this is just like the highlight for me in S.H.Figuarts lines. I could collect a lot of different lines. I have, the original standard lines for S.H.Figuarts, for Kamen Rider and Sentai, and then we have the Shinkocchou Seihou line, and then I have the Marvel line, because I'm really into like Iron Man and all those. So seeing these all together, well, getting this guy and seeing all these together right now, it just makes me so happy for the Shinkocchou Seihou line for being created. Now, I think that there is one other figure that we should put next to this guy. Of course, we haven't gotten an announcement for like a human version of Ankh, but we might as well switch out Decade here and put in the complete Greed Ankh. And of course, he stands good next to him. They're not, perfect comparison, but yeah, they still look great together. But yeah, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more pictures of this guy. And I hope that you guys enjoy this review. Thank you. Bye.